Now on private and local order of the day, number 2.
Sullivan Birth Certificate Bill, second reading.
Lewissa Wall.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker, tēnā koutou katoa. I move that the Sullivan Birth Certificate Bill be now read a second time. Mr Speaker, this private bill allows the birth details of Rowan Sullivan to record the reality of her family. As the Select Committee states in its report, the bill, with the amendments recommended, will make what is a matter of fact that Diane Sullivan and Doreen Shields are Rowan Sullivan's parents a matter of law. For those who are not familiar with the background, this bill arose out of the fact that Rowan Sullivan cannot by law have the names of both her parents on her birth certificate. After 7 years together, her parents, Diane Sullivan and Doreen Shields, had a daughter who was born by an assisted human reproduction procedure to Diane on the 23rd of February 1993. At that time, only Diane's name was recorded on Rowan's birth certificate as her birth mother. In 2006, Diane was diagnosed with a terminal illness and passed away in 2010 when Rowan was 17. At that time, Rowan and Doreen decided that Doreen would apply for an adoption order, as that was the only legal option available to them to record their parent-child relationship. But in doing that, Doreen received a new birth certificate with just Doreen's name on it, and her mother, Diane's name, was removed. That was the law, but it means the reality of Rowan's upbringing and family was not recorded, and there was no ability for her or Doreen to take advantage of changes made by the Status of Children Act and last year's Marriage Amendment Act. Rowan's age and the passing of Diane meant that was not possible. A private bill is the only way Rowan's parents can both be recorded on her birth registration details from which a new birth certificate can be issued. I particularly want to acknowledge the members of the Government Administration Select Committee, so aptly chaired by the Honourable Ruth Dyson, for their work and the amendments to the bill that they have recommended. The amendments reflect the commitment of the Select Committee to understand what this bill is seeking. The amendments recommended by the Select Committee clarify what this bill is about. It's about Rowan Sullivan having the names of both her parents on her birth certificate. The Select Committee has rightly renamed this private bill the Sullivan Birth Registration Bill, because it's the details held of Rowan's birth registration, which currently record the adoption order in the name of Doreen Shields, that are the basis for the issuing of Rowan's birth certificate. Should this bill pass, Rowan's parents will legally be the two women who were her parents in true life, Diane Sullivan and Doreen Shields. On a personal note, I would also like to thank the members of the Select Committee for the manner in which they heard and reported on a matter that is extremely sensitive for the promoter, Rowan Sullivan, and her living parent, Doreen Shields, who I acknowledge in the House tonight. Doreen and Rowan have asked that I pass on their thanks to the Select Committee. In Doreen's words, she told me, and I quote, "Rowan and I had no idea what to expect from the Select Committee. We thought it might be quite intimidating, and we wondered if maybe they wouldn't really be very interested in the bill. As it turned out, we didn't need to worry about either of those things. We're really impressed with the care the committee took to understand what Rowan wanted to achieve with the bill and with the changes they made to it. I am honoured to be the sponsor of this bill that I recommend to the House with the amendments proposed by the Select Committee. Appropriately, I will leave the last word to the promoter of the bill, Rowan Sullivan, and I quote, "It's hard to believe that I'm about to turn 21 and am hopefully very close to finally having official recognition of both my parents. I feel very lucky to live in a country where it's possible for that to happen. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa."
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Chris Hockenvold.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. In the very brief amount of time available just